this is my new KitchenAid mixer. It is a 325 watt motor KitchenAid 5-quart 4.7 liter bowl mixer. It is in candy apple red, and it comes with a flat beater, a dough hook, and a wire whisk. It is model number KSM55GBCA. And also we bought this KitchenAid tilt head flex edge beater, and that is basically a bowl scraper. It has a rubber edge, I guess, if you will, on it, and you don't have to scrape down the bowl so much. You just put this attachment on and it scrapes the side of the bowl. So I'm very excited to use that because I'm tired of scraping the bowl. But anyway, this one comes with a glass bowl, and it's made just a little bit different from the metal bowl. It's a little bit more rounded, so you don't have anything at the bottom that you can't get to with the beaters and whisks. So it gets all your batter mixed in really good. And I'm so excited to try it out. I'm going to try it out tomorrow. It was originally $399, but we had the 20% off coupon, and we had a $5 off coupon, so we were able to use them both. And the 20% off brought it down $80, so the mixer was $319, and then we ended up getting this little attachment. I don't like that they're so expensive, but it was $29.99, and we got $5 off of the attachment, so it's $24.99. So we was able to, get that at a discount. So I was very excited, very happy about that. I'm hoping I don't have to get too much else. I'll probably get a cover for it so that when it's just sitting on the counter, it's covered. Even though I like to see the mixer sitting out on the counter because they're so pretty, so stylish. I love that. But you want to get a cover on it, I guess, so dust or, whatever doesn't get it all messed up. So I might get a cover for it. I'm not sure. So anyway, let me get to unboxing. Here we go. So I'm going to try to get this lifted out. Hold on a second. Okay, good googly moogly. I had to have my son to help me pull it out. This is heavy. Well, I had to pull it out sideways. All right, and let me get this styrofoam off of here. Just a second. Okay, the beater was right back here, stuck in the styrofoam here. So that, I'm sorry, the whisk. That's the wire whisk. Okay. Yeah, I am going to have to pause this because it might take a bit. So this little lever unlocks it. I'm going to tilt it. Ooh, back. It's heavy, y'all. It's metal. I do like it that it's heavy duty. So I'm going to take off this styrofoam. That's the power cord. And some magazine, not magazine, but little stuff that comes with it. Hand wash only. Washing and dishwasher will cause wire whisk to discolor. After washing, dry thoroughly. Okay, so wire whisk, you're gonna wash that by hand. Okay, and this is the bowl. Take off that styrofoam and okay, and there we go. Move this styrofoam, and in the styrofoam was little compartments that the attachments were in. So there's the beater, and I like that it's metal. Okay, so that's that. Move this styrofoam out of the way. And voila! This is, ooh, the KitchenAid. Oh my goodness, y'all. It's heavy. It's not too heavy that you can't, get it from place to place. It's something that once you get it unboxed, if you're going to keep it on your counter, I would recommend keeping it on your counter and not like putting it away and pulling it out and in if you're going to be using it often. I would get a nice place on your counter where you want to work on it or work with it at, a central location where you're going to be working at. And then make sure it can fit under your counter. If you got cabinets above it, make sure that the cabinets are, high enough from the base where it'll be sitting so that you won't have any problems, getting it under there. And yeah, this is it. Let's see if this is easy to... Get it locked in. There we go. So it's locked. And this is the lever. It's unlocked like this. Put it down and then you lock it. That way it can't come up. But anyway, you want to tilt it in order to put your attachments on. And you want to just tilt it. You want to put it on, twist it, and it locks it in. And it's locked in. So that's good. And this is the attachment, like if you have a grinder. I don't know if you can see that, but if you have a grinder or, whatever other attachment you get, you can put it there. This little lever, you twist that and attach it there. Okay, let's see if I can scoot this back a little bit. Oh, it's heavy. Turn it around this way. And this is where you have your speeds. Your when you first turn it on, you want to turn it on just to this one, or whether it says stir. And then you have a 2 and a 4 and a 6, 8, 10. It's a 10-speed mixer. So you just change it to what you want it to. And back to 0. This is an artisan design. So they have 3 models. They have the KitchenAid Classic, which I guess is their base model, and then they have, this is the KitchenAid Artisan Design. The KitchenAid Classic, I believe, is 250 or 275 watts. The Artisan comes in, I think, a 300 and a 325 watt. And the Professional series, which has the lift, the bowl lift, and it's taller and it has more wattage in it. I'm thinking it's like 500 and something watts. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but I think it's 500 and something watts, and if not more. And it's very powerful for use, very often. If you use it very often, you want to get a Professional series. And if you're going to be making bread and, stuff like that, you need a more powerful motor. You may want to go with the Professional series, but supposedly this is the middle one is supposed to, be able to do a lot. So hopefully that is the case. So yeah, looks good. I can't wait to use it. I'll be using it tomorrow, and I will actually come back and show you the findings that I have doing my cake batters and the icings. All right, moment of truth. We are going to cream the butter. Okay, I let it down and I put the lock on, and I'm going to turn on the mixer. See what it does to cream this butter. Oh, looky there. And that's with the flat beater on. Wow. Creamy butter, that's its first use. And it's actually creaming the mixer, the Sunbeam mixer, which is kind of scoop the butter around. This is actually creaming it, so I'm very excited. And sugar together, and this one does beat creamier. And that's the KitchenAid. And then this is the Sunbeam. It beats more, almost looks like the consistency of sand, if you will. So they do definitely beat differently. I am making pound cake, and this is what it looks like after the eggs. After the butter, sugar, and eggs. I'm going to let it beat. See the consistency? So that's what it looks like. That's the KitchenAid. This is the consistency of the butter, sugar, and eggs with the Sunbeam. So it looks a little fluffier. It looks fluffier with the KitchenAid. Okay. See, it doesn't look completely incorporated. The cake is going to come out good. Don't get me wrong. It's going to come out good, but ooh. Okay. Let me rinse this off the spatula a little bit and show you the consistency. It's a little bit fluffier. A little more well incorporated. The other one is, they're just different. The batters, this is lighter and fluffier. The other one is not heavy, it's light also. But they're just different. I can't too much explain it. It's just different. So they'll both be good because I've made the cakes with the Sunbeams for years. So it came out good. It's just going to be different. Adding the flavorings, and if you can see, how the KitchenAid beats everywhere. It's getting the whole bowl. It's incorporating everything because the beater is going in and out, in and out, in the middle and outside. The Sunbeam doesn't have a beater. It just has two beaters on the outside of the bowl, so it can't incorporate. See, I've already added vanilla and other flavorings, and see how it's just sitting? Adding that, and you have to actually help the Sunbeam. Let's see. Oh, that helps a little bit. That helps. It does have a lever on the outside where you can put it to the inside of the bowl, and then it goes. Slide it over, and the beaters beat on the outside. See, sliding it over, and it goes to the middle more so. I'm sliding it back over, and it goes to the outside. So that helps. You don't always want to have to do that. The KitchenAid just does it automatically, but hey, it gets the job done. Sunbeam gets the job done as well. Just got to go through it just a little bit more scraping down the sides of the bowl and stuff like that. But hey, still doing the job. One more thing about the Sunbeam, which is a good thing, is that because this little lever in the front moves over back and forth, when it's around the edge like this, you can get your spatula down in to scrape the bowl. So that's really good. Now the KitchenAid, it really doesn't need too much scraping, but when you do need to scrape, you do have to tilt that head back and scrape it. But you usually don't need to, unless you have like some ingredients that just will not mix. So the KitchenAid is mixing very well on its own. Every blue moon you'll have to lift the head and scrape the bowl. And usually with the Sunbeam you have to scrape down all the time, usually. But it does leave space to do that. You have a wide area right here. You can just stick the spatula in, scrape it down, even around in the bottom of the bowl. So that's a good thing. The one thing I don't like about the bowl, you can pour, it's a regular bowl, of course. You can pour your ingredients into the pan, but it's easier with the KitchenAid because it has this spout right here and it has the handle. So it's easy to, when you get ready to put your ingredients into the pan, it's easy to, tilt the bowl however you want it, and it comes out easy out of this pouring spout. So that's a good thing. Ingredients to the KitchenAid. It's going fast now, but I can slow it down to a stir, almost to a crawl. And I can add my ingredients in without splashing. So that's very good. I can add my flour in and it does not splash everywhere. So that's good. It has this very slow speed. And then you can rev it up when you get ready. The Sunbeam has a slower speed also, so when I add the milk in, it doesn't splash everywhere either. So both are good in that feature. Just the KitchenAid is just a little slower. It's just a little better in that area, but this is still a good feature here. The first speed is slow, so every now and again it'll pop up your ingredients, but for the most part this does pretty well too. One tip when you're adding in flour or sugar or something like that, mostly flour or powdered sugar, something that's powdery and that can fly up, I always hold a napkin right here because I'm adding like right in the side of the bowl. That way the flour doesn't get in these cracks and crevices like they just did because I didn't have the napkin up. But always hold this up like this and pour your ingredients in. That's if you don't have that little plastic cover or that little shield that you can put your ingredients in. I don't have one of those, so I just put one of these right here, and that keeps the top part of the blender clean. Just one good tip. Here's the wire whisk in motion. So it's doing very good. Beating it pretty smooth and getting up near the bowl. On my other stand mixer, the beaters just stayed in one place. So this is much better. Alright, and it is handling the icing pretty well. This is on stir. This is on 2. And that's 4, but you don't want to go in that fast. 2 is good enough. Sometimes I put it on 4 just to cut through when it was thick, but as I add milk to thin it out, 2 is good. And it's done. As you can see, icing gives a mixer a workout. So the mixer and myself, we are just covered with confectioner sugar. So but anyway, my KitchenAid made it through and I'm so happy. Here's the aftermath of the icing. This big bowl made 12 cups. I don't know if you can tell, but the line is at 12 cups of icing, which is 96 ounces, and 2.5 liters. So 2.5 liters of icing. And I put some in this bowl because I have about 6 or 7 cakes to ice with that. And yep, it's that time, that baking time. So the KitchenAid handled the cakes. I in total made 9 cakes. I have 2 more to make, or 3 more. So I'll be making 12 cakes for the holiday. 6, I think, to ice, and then 3-pound cakes and 3 pineapple upside down. So, and KitchenAid can do it all. Okay, there is one thing that I can show you that I did not like about my Sunbeam, and it's these numbers here that I guess they're painted on, and then right here on the lever where you can tilt the mixer head. Let me see if I can get that better. See that on there, the mixer and that the beater. And then on, let's see. Right here. And the Sunbeam sign. And this Power Boost sign. When you touch that, and I had my other one for 6 months, the last one that broke down on me. When you touch, sometimes you can't help but touch it where you're not thinking about it. When you're turning the power on and off, you grab right here. These numbers rub off. So you don't know what speed you're going exactly. So it goes all the way up to 12. Usually you catch it just like that. If you're not paying attention, you're going to catch it just like that. But I'm kind of conscious now because I really don't want my numbers and stuff to rub off. And sometimes if your hands are oily from vegetable oil or shortening or whatever you're working with, it's going to rub that paint or whatever that is right off. When you touch right here, let me get that. When you touch right there to tilt that all the time, this is going to rub off. It rubbed off of my last one. And for some, I can't remember about I think these rub off too. You don't touch this that often, but I would imagine, I'm thinking that on one side or the other the last time it rubbed off. I don't know if from splashes of the ingredients or whatever, but it seems like these were rubbed off too. I can't quite remember, so I won't say that. But the paint and stuff, you know, if you touch too often these little words and, let me see. That's going to rub off. So I didn't like that. It's like if you pay good money for something. This is $69.99. This was here, which is not super expensive, but still, that's a decent amount of money. And you want your product to last. You want it to look good and everything. On this KitchenAid, I don't think, this is not paint, I don't believe. But anyway, you don't touch it. You have like the paint and words and stuff, they're not on the levers that you're going to be touching. So you're not going to be touching up here and touching up there. I don't think it can come off anyway because it doesn't look like paint. Paint kind of looks like it's etched or whatever they use to do that, and that's in metal. So, and like on here, you know, you're not touching. The levers down here, the numbers and wording is on this little plate or whatever. So your numbers and everything, wording, it's not going to rub off. Loving my KitchenAid mixer and my Sunbeam mixer. I am running them at the same time. So it really helps to have 2 mixers running at the same time. But they're both candy apple red. The KitchenAid is really a heavy duty. And I can make my icings and different things on there. And the Sunbeam, I can make regular cake mixes and stuff on there. I used to do my icing, but my other Sunbeams broke trying to do the icing. So Just gonna stick with the mixes for this, but I still love it. It does the job for mixing up cakes and cookies and stuff. So, and there's my Sunbeam. I'm sorry, my KitchenAid Sunbeam. There's my KitchenAid. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And my attachments are back there behind it. So, loving both of them. Gotta get a few more cake pans, but makes it real convenient to get your baking done in half the time.